We're in the mold room here at Shallow Sport Boats, and this is where the whole process starts with our top deck molds and our hull molds. What we're going to do here is we're going to start to wax the mold, and then the boat's going to move into the paint department where we're actually going to apply the gel coat to the mold. Now the gel coat is going to take the shape of the mold that we're working on. So in this case, we're going to paint the top deck. It's going to take the shape of all the diamond and the non-skid, and then it'll move up to the layup department. Here we are at the paint department here at Shallow Sport Boats, and this is where the gel coat is going to be applied to the molds. We get to choose the colors you want for the top and the bottom of your boat. Because our boats are all custom, you can choose the color of gel coat you would like to apply to your deck and your hull. So what we're doing at this stage is we're installing the reinforcement glass of the hull, which gives you the strength of every Shallow Sport, which is why our boats last more than 30 years. So as you can see here, we're hand laminating this reinforcement glass into the hull, which really gives you the strength of the Shallow Sport. Every air bubble on every single layer must be completely eliminated in this process. And as you can see, they're working out the air bubbles and building up the thickness of the hull. The glass that we're using is actually a woven 90-degree biaxial fiberglass that really gives us the tensile strength in two different directions. And as you can see, they're laying that throughout the entire boat. After this, the boat will dry and then it'll roll into the assembly process where we will install the stringers and the top deck. We're here in the assembly department at Shallow Sport Boats, and this is where the boat is still sitting in the mold and we're starting to install the stringer system. The stringer system is a separate piece that's molded off of its own mold. It's hollow on the inside. We're going to tab it into the hull, and then the guys are going to come back and actually foam inject this stringer system. These wood buttresses here are to keep the stringer from lifting off of the part as that foam starts to rise. Once that's all done, we're going to come back with the molded top piece, and they're actually going to set it on top of the deck and bond it to the stringer and the hull, and it's beginning to come one piece. If you'll notice, the boat is still in the mold. A lot of companies will take the shell out and send it down the line and relay up the boat. We actually construct the boat 100% while it's sitting in the hull structure and the mold. That way we ensure that we're going to achieve the shape that we want. So we build the hull, the stringer, and put the top deck before it actually comes out of the mold as a boat. One of the major differences between a mass-produced boat and a handcrafted Shallow Sport boat is our attention to detail. The boat spends the most amount of time here in the finish shop where it all gets meticulously hand sanded and buffed so that we can get the best, cleanest finish possible. Here we are in the aluminum fabrication shop at Shallow Sport, and this is where we're going to build all of the standard equipment that comes on the boat, as well as a lot of optional equipment such as casting platforms, T-tops, boarding ladders. As you can see, there's a lot of curves, a lot of bends, a lot of complicated welds. We do a lot of things that a lot of other boat companies don't do because we want to make sure that it's strong as well as it looks incredible. Here we are in the small parts department at Shallow Sport, and this is where we're going to build all of our hatches, our consoles, our race consoles. And we don't chop any part. Every single part is hand laminated to ensure a consistent layup schedule. What that means is a strong part that you can walk on and it's finished out on both sides. As you can see, this hatch right here, it's not only one side has the grip, but also on the inside it's nicely finished out and clean. You don't have to worry about any mildew growing on the back side. And then we'll finish it out with all stainless steel hinges and latches, which makes one of the nicest hatches in the industry. Here we are in the upholstery shop here at Shallow Sport Boats, and this is where we're going to make all of the cushions and cover all of the Yeti coolers, which come standard on the boat. We're using a UV resistant and mildew proof marine grade vinyl, top of the line. We back it up with this PVC Pro board, which is a lot better than wood because it won't absorb moisture and it will not rot or warp. That's very important. We also use this UV resistant thread to hold all the vinyl together, and as well as these rust proof staples. This is really important. We don't want to see any rust on the cushions. This is the best quality staple that you can buy. We wrap all of the foam that's in the cushion with this plastic, and what that does is it keeps it from getting mildew growing in it, and it also keeps it from absorbing water. And what you end up with is this beautiful handcrafted cushion made right here on site. We can match the piping to your boat. We can do all kinds of stripes or different kinds of texture on there, and you just get a really quality product. As far as I know, Shallow Sport is the only company that offers a Yeti cooler standard on every Shallow Sport boat. And what we'll do in the upholstery shop here is we'll actually permanently mount a cushion to the top of the lid so you don't have to worry about that cushion coming off. Just makes a really nice, comfortable seat on the boat.
One of our recent add-ons that we did is a test tank, which is basically a big swimming pool that we back our boats into. The reason for doing this is over the years we've developed more live wells, swim platforms, power poles, and all this stuff has to be bolted onto the boat. And we want to make sure it goes into the tank, sits there for a couple hours to ensure there's no leaking. So that's really helped us to ensure that the boat gets to the dealer and the customer without any issues or problems.
We're in the final rigging department here at Shallow Sport, and this is really my favorite part because this is where all of the equipment comes together. The aluminum gets bolted to the boat, the motor gets mounted to the transom, we've got the jack plate, all the wiring. If the boat calls for a stereo, we install that here, power poles, troll motors, extra batteries. All of our equipment comes together in its final inspection. We're going to inspect the whole boat and we're going to ship it out to the dealer so that you can enjoy it on the water.